Hello, my beloveds, my light workers, starseed family, light warriors, light workers, soul family. My name is Amoy, and I am from Toronto, Canada, originally from Jamaica, a little ghetto town called Alzol. I am a singer-songwriter. I call myself a light worker, starseed, and I sing and write music. I call more of a reggae fusion. Reggae is my base, but I fuse my reggae music with all these different genres that I love and I resonate with. Like, you'll find elements of jazz, you'll find elements of R&B, soul, funk, electronic, all these are different genres, and I call this music Jama. Jamaican music meets world influences. So today, this is my first YouTube vlog, if you will. I decided it's something that I always wanted to do, was to create more content for my YouTube. You'll see I've been more active on my Instagram and my Facebook page, as well as my Twitter pages for the past few years. And so I've been shy to do more, I guess, YouTube videos. But I decided that 2022 was going to be the year that I make a conscious effort to create more content for my YouTube page. Now, I did this taping a few hours before, but I was testing the lighting on Instagram because I'm so used to Instagram, and so I tested it on Instagram Live, and I thought, okay, I'm already here, might as well finish it on Instagram Live, and my intent was to save it and then upload it onto YouTube. But for some reason, I've been tested, I'm telling y'all. I finished the video, and when it was time for me to save it, I didn't get the save button option. And so I was trying to figure out how to save it somehow to my phone or my computer and then upload it. But for the life of me, I couldn't figure it out. So here we are. I'm doing this taping again. Learning to be patient and to go with the flow. This is the new me, because the old me would have gotten frustrated and I'd be like, okay, forget it. I'm just not going to do it. But I decided, you know what? I'm going to retape so that I'm able to upload it to YouTube, which was my original intent. Okay, so here we are. Thank you guys so much for joining me and for joining my page, and for giving me and some of your time and your ears. Today I wanted to talk about, because for this series of vlogs that I intend to do, I'm not just going to talk about my music. I do want to talk about my music, but not just my music. I am an artist, but there's more to me, and that's what I wanted to really share with my audience who resonate with me and my energy and my light and my music, so that you get a better understanding of who I am, what I stand for, why I do the music I do, and what's going on with me as I am currently actively, continuously going through this spiritual awakening that started in 2012. For me, I've always been spiritual, if you will. I was raised in the church. Back home in Jamaica, I was raised by my beautiful grandparents, my grandmother and my grandfather. My mom was a victim of physical abuse, and so she migrated to Canada when I was around six years old. And my sister and my brother, my siblings, my youngest and the eldest of us three, we were left in Jamaica. Not left in Jamaica. She had to do what she had to do to get out of that situation, and so we were raised by my grandparents, which I wouldn't change for anything in the world. My grandmother is a powerhouse, and she taught me everything, so much about who I am, that I still embrace and live by today. They were the ones who introduced me to music. They had us singing in the church. So this video is turning out now that I'm talking about my upbringing, which I didn't even intend to do that, but here we are. So I'm just going to go with the flow. I was raised in the church, as I was saying, singing in the church choir. I was so not into singing solo at the time. I was very young when we started, but eventually, the more that she pushed us to do this, to sing, the more I fell in love with it, and the audience would be so enamored, or they resonated with my sound, and they would always want me to sing these solos. And so I kept on doing that, and I ended up, long story short, falling in love with music. I remember one of my favorite stories to tell was after church. We would go home after church and watch these Sunday matinees, where you have these musicals, if you will. And I would watch those and fall in love with just the expression of how these men and women were singing these songs, and just the feeling that I got from it. I fell in love with it, and how they made me feel, and I knew that I wanted to help people feel good, like the music was making me feel good at that time. I would run up into, after watching these shows, I would run up into the mango trees back home. I was such a tomboy. I'd run up into the trees and sing to the animals in our backyard, and to the animals, to all the animals, yes, and to all the plants. I must say, I'm a tree hugger. I'm one of those people that, like, if I see a tree, it calls to me to give it a hug and kiss it up and talk to it. I am that girl. I love nature. So the more that I did that, though, the more I fell in love with music. And long story short, after my grandmother passed away, I came to Toronto, Canada, to live with my mom and my siblings, and decided to pursue music professionally. And I decided, even against my family's wish, because they thought it was a pipe dream, if you will. Music was not going to be something that I could really live off of. But I managed to decide, well, I decided then that I didn't care. I didn't know how it was going to work out, but I knew that music was my path. I was writing my own music, and I wanted to share it with the world. And so I decided that I was going to drop out of college. I was studying travel and tourism at the time to be a flight attendant, because I knew I wanted to travel. That's another passion of mine, traveling and experiencing new cultures and so forth. I decided that I was going to focus solely on my music and forget about a plan B and just focus on music. And I haven't looked back since, and I've been doing music all these years, and I've been able to live a life of music and travel the world doing music. But now I wanted to branch out, if you will, and share more of who I am and connect with you, my audience, more. Anyone that resonates with the energy of that I give out. Like I said, I am a light worker. I believe that I am here for a purpose and a reason, and it's not random. It's not by mistake or coincidence or by fluke. I came here with a divine mission, and I totally, completely committed to living and fulfilling that mission. I can't tell you what it is exactly, because I don't know what it is, but I know that as I live my life, I am, in truth, living out this mission. And as I, day to day, each day comes to me and tells me what it is that I'm supposed to do, that is a part of my mission. And inevitably, I will end up completing and fulfilling this mission. That is the intent. And so I wanted to share more of my journey, and bring you in, if you will, let you into how I am navigating this new me coming online now since my awakening, a profound spiritual awakening that happened to me in 2012. And this was a catalyst for changing my music completely. My music got more conscious. It became more of, even though I had some of that, it became more of being in service. I wanted to write music that would not just uplift and motivate and inspire people, but to activate people. Now I want to activate people. That's the intent in my music, is to activate people. I call myself an activator. My music is an activator as well, to activate people in pushing them to get out of their comfort zones, as I'm getting out of my comfort zone, and get us out of our comfort zone, yes, and get us on the path of our divine mission, figure out what it is that we want to do, should be doing, love to do, and do it without fear, unapologetically. And so 2012 was that year that catapulted me onto this path completely and fully with no fear. Today, what I wanted to talk about was how, because you know, we are going through these interesting times, I'm gonna call it, of change. Our world is changing. Us as a collective, we are changing. Us as individuals, we are changing, and coming more into this, like I call it, this new me, new us, new world, and how to navigate these changes and frequencies that are coming in from the great central sun, and how it's activating our DNA and our bodies, and pushing us to becoming more of who we are, and how I'm learning to embrace all of this unknown and stepping into more of my power and my sovereignty, and not allowing myself to be living in mediocrity anymore, and living in lack and fear and all of those low vibration. So today I wanted to come on here and talk about how to shift from one vibration to the next. I've been learning a lot, so much since my awakening in 2012. I'm learning more about who I am. I've been practicing and allowing myself to embrace these changes that are happening inside of me and around me, from a place of allowance and a place of surrender, a place of love and patience with myself. I've been working so much on myself, and I know that a lot of us are doing that, are in the place of doing that. And so I wanted to share about how the tools that I use to shift from a lower vibration to a higher vibration, and especially in these times when things are coming at us left, right, and center. Left, right, and center. You'll hear my local accent, patois accent, come out every now and then. I've been here in Toronto for 22 years. I came here when I was a teenager, but I still have my accent, and I'm not ashamed, or I'm not going to apologize for it. But thank you for being patient with me and just how I speak. This is what you see is what you get. Anyway, so speaking on how to shift from one vibration to the next. I have a lot of great teachers now, spiritual teachers, that I yourself have been learning to embrace the guidance from my higher self a lot more than I used to before my awakening. I am best friends now, I call it, with my I am presence. Some people call it the oversoul, higher self. I call it my I am presence. I call it my higher self. I call it source love. I call it spirit. Spirit. I love the word. I love using spirit, God, source. A lot of people call the divine creator all these different names. For me, I resonate with spirit, and that is my spirit guides, my higher self, my oversoul, all of that collective spirit. All right, so I've been embracing the guidance from my spirit as much as I can, and using the tools that I'm being given and that I'm remembering as I come more and more online into more of who I am. I utilize these tools more, and it's been helping me navigate these times of change. One of the tools that I've been taught and I love to practice is meditation. Now, when I used to hear about meditation back in the day, I felt like it was so tedious. I would try to meditate. Now I know that you don't try to meditate. You just meditate. You just be. But before, I was trying to meditate, and I felt like I wasn't getting anything. It wasn't doing anything. I felt like I wasn't hearing anything. It was like I never fall asleep most of the time. But now I've come to understand and recognize that meditation there's all forms of what you call meditation. For me, one of my favorite forms of meditation is walking out in nature. I don't want to say obsessed, but I'm in love with nature. I love Mama Gaia. I'm always talking to my Mother Gaia, and I love to be out in the outdoors and just embrace the energies and the elements of what is Mother Beautiful Nature, Mama Gaia. Whenever I'm going through something that would normally take me down, and I've been depressed before, I've been in a state where I was so down, I was so low that I even wanted to take myself off the planet when I was a teenager, because I didn't have the tools at the time to help me navigate these experiences, these traumas, if you will, that I went through when I was younger, especially after my grandmother passed. Because my grandmother was the cornerstone for my family. And yes, she gave me the foundation of a spiritual background, but it was more from a standpoint of being religious, if you get my drift. In 2012, and a little bit before, but mostly in 2012, that shifted for me and became more spiritual, a spiritual relationship, more of a way of life. It just became a new experience for me. I looked at my relationship with God, Source Spirit, like I say, I call it Spirit. It's totally different. It became more personal, more intimate, more of something that I look forward to. You catch me talking, talking out, like my partner will hear me talking, and he's like, "Are you talking to me, babe? Are you talking to me?" No, babe, I'm talking to my higher self. I'm talking to Spirit. I'm always constantly talking to Spirit and asking for guidance and allowing myself to hear this guidance from Spirit. And that's how I've been living my life. And it's changed me completely in every way, shape, and form, mentally, emotionally, physically, absolutely, and spiritually. It's a lifestyle for me now. I'm constantly in alignment. I do my best to be in alignment with Spirit. If I catch myself out of alignment, I quickly do what I need to do to get back into alignment with Spirit as much as I can throughout my days, throughout my life, since waking up. And more that I wake up, the more closer I feel to this guidance system that I have around me. The more that I know that I'm not alone on this planet, the more that I know that there is a reason for me being here, and they show me with signs and this magic that has come into my life. I live a magical life, I call it, because things happen like magic around me, and I'm more aware of these magical experiences, and I'm more in tune with it, and I don't take anything that happens in and around me for granted. I know everything is happening for a reason. So one of the tools, going back to tools, and use the tools to use to shift from one vibration to the next. One of them for me is meditation. And like I was saying, there's all forms of meditation. One of them for me is walking out in nature. I love nature. And spending time by the water. I love the water. I grew up on an island. So of course, innately, I'm just in love with water. And more so now too, because I can appreciate the element of what the water does. It's very healing. It's very therapeutic. It's like a renewal, rebirth. All of these different attributes from the water. So much so that I named my new album that is out now, Water. This is my second solo album. My first one was The Light, which I wrote after 2012. That was inspired from that awakening, discovering the light inside of me. The light is my higher self, the God source, love that is within me, that is within each and every one of us. That is what connects each and every one of us and brings us into that oneness. That's who we are. And so that light has, pushed me more into becoming more of who I am. And I embrace it fully and completely and totally. And so that song was talking about that, my awakening in 2012, and from that point on. And now Water, my new baby, my new album, Water, is speaking about my rebirth since discovering the light, all these new awarenesses that I'm coming into, new consciousness, this new me, if you will. I'm seeing things different. I'm discovering things about our world, um, good, ugly, and bad, all of it, and healing myself from all the things that have happened to me in this lifetime, in other lifetimes, and becoming more balanced and sharing this new perspective, this new, like I said, new awarenesses, this new knowledge. A lot of it you'll find in water, and just in my own unique way through music. I'm singing about what I'm learning and experiencing and discovering. Meditation allows me to still my mind and connect and be more in alignment with my higher self and the guidance that is appropriate for me to get at any time. Prayer is also another version of meditation for me. I set the intent that in any given moment that I'm ready to do this, I set the intent to connect with my divine team, my spiritual team, if you will. I resonate with Archangel Michael a lot, and of course Yeshua, Jesus. However, so many different names, but Jesus, Archangel Michael, and I connect with my Archangel Metatron as well, and all these different guidance, spiritual beings rather. And so I've set my intent to connect with my spiritual team, and I allow myself to still my mind, block out everything, if you will, or shut off everything that is happening around me and in the outer world, and I allow myself to be in a place of stillness by breathing myself, using the breath to get to this state. I'm not the best meditator, I'm sure, but it works for me, and I do it my unique way, and I connect with my guides, and sometimes I might not get the answers I'm looking for right away in that session, in that moment, but throughout the day or throughout the week, throughout the month, I'll get the answer that I'm looking for. I could be washing dishes, and I'll get that light bulb moment, if you will. The answer will come to me, the ideas will come to me, the solutions will come to me, and I'll take action whenever the synchronicities are placed before me. I'm very much more so now at this point in my life paying attention to what I'm thinking, what I'm saying, and how I'm acting, because I know now that I'm the creator of my reality. And this making time for stillness and connecting with my spiritual team has allowed me to have this understanding and the surrender, if you will, to this process, where all of a sudden these teachers are coming online to me, like I'm connecting with these beautiful souls on the planet, these beautiful channelers and teachers, and that are teaching me so much about this life and why we're here, and the unseen world, which is the real reality, and how to shift from this illusion into more of this magical world outside of this matrix, if you will, and going more within and finding my peace and finding my piece of heaven, and then creating this piece of heaven after discovering more of it within myself, creating it outside of myself in my outer world. And meditation has allowed me to do that. It's just slowed me down. I'm not being busy anymore. I'm not busy being angry anymore. I used to be so angry about things, and I would be so riled up and reactive to things before my awakening. Now I've become for me, the most positive being that you probably. This is how I'm thinking. Because I'm so much more positive now about life. I don't allow the negative things and the outer obstacles or challenges to affect me like they used to, because I'm so much more sound and balanced inside of myself, and I'm always minding how I'm thinking, like I said before, thinking, speaking, and acting towards anything that's happening in and around me now, which I'm so thankful for, because that was taking me down a place where I wasn't happy, and I was, like I said, depressed, and I was so reactive to things and not knowing how to deal with them, that I was just irresponsible with my behavior, my behaviors. I was just lash out at people, and take things out on people irresponsibly, and that obviously was not the way to go. But now I am so much more aware of my behavior and how I'm living, and I'm more purposeful about how I react and act, and it's changed my life. And I'm more so in love with who I am and who I am becoming now. I know exactly what that means to fall in love with yourself, because I see the changes that I'm making in my life, and how I'm reacting to things that would affect me in a different way, in a negative way, if you will, before. And this is why I know that learning the tools about how to shift from a negative situation or a lower vibration to a higher vibration is so important. It's just so important. It affects your day. It affects your life, really, if you know what you're doing, and you are aware that you can change your reality. You are the one that is controlling your reality. You're the one affecting your reality. You're the one creating it. And so whatever is happening, it has a lot to do with how you are showing up in life and in in situations that you're dealt. So one, meditation is a tool that absolutely can help you if you embrace it, if you give it a chance. And like I said, there's different forms of it. You can do it by sitting still, laying down still, and breathing, and setting the intention that you're ready to connect with your guides, your guidance system, your guidance team, and then just relaxing, telling the ego to step aside for a moment, be quiet for a moment, shutting off the mind. I'm ready to quiet my mind. I'm telling my mind to step aside for a moment, telling the ego to step aside for a moment, and now I'm open. My heart is open, my mind is open, and my arms are open, and I'm ready to hear from my higher self, Mother, Father, God, beautiful Gaia, my guidance system. I'm ready to hear, and allowing myself to listen until you hear what you need to hear. And like I said, you might not hear it in that moment, but you'll get the answers, guaranteed, because they are listening. And it's a free will world that we live in. And so if you give them permission to connect with you, they will, even though they're always there. But on a different level, if you're ready to really hear and see them act in your life, you will see it. And you're paying attention, you will see it. And that's when your world becomes magical. It changes for the better. It's beauty. Life becomes so much more fun, actually, so much more fun. So meditation is a tool that I use. I will go out for walks into nature and allow myself to listen to the wind, watch the trees, sit with the trees, sit in the grass, sit by the water, and ideas will come to me. Beautiful songs comes to me in those moments as well. Writing, a passion of mine, as you know now, is music and songwriting. When I put myself in a place and space for writing, it becomes like a meditation for me, because I ask my guides to come in and send me the right melodies and the right subject matter and things to talk about, ideas to sing about, and I'll get the most beautiful songs. I know I know I'm my biggest I am my biggest fan of the music that I make, because I love the music that Spirit has given me and is giving me now. And when I get on stage, after putting these songs on paper and then putting them on wax and recording these songs, it's such a therapeutic, cathartic experience for me now. And then when I get on stage and I'm able to share and express these songs vocally to my audience, it's another magical experience. It's another meditative thing for me. I go into, I call it like, honestly, it's like another dimension. And I become like a channel where Spirit is using me, using my vessel, my body, singing through me, speaking through me, and sharing light and healing. And the intent for me is whenever I'm singing, and if you hear my music, the intent is that whatever healing that the listener needs at that time, they are getting. Spirit is working with the light energy through the music to get to the audience, the listener, what it is that they need, and that's appropriate for them at the time. And also, I see myself as an activator. My music is activating people. When I get on stage, or if you hear my music, I am activating my listeners to get on the path, their divine path, and fulfill their mission, whatever it is that they're supposed to do, that they're activated to get on with it. Figure out what that is, and unapologetically and fearlessly go after it and get it done. And more importantly as well, to get the healing that they need as well, so that they can get on their path and fulfill their divine missions, just like I feel like I am doing. And I don't know exactly what that is. I can't, but I feel like, and I know now that whatever it is that I'm doing, it is a part of my divine mission. And ultimately, I will complete this mission before I transition from this reality into the next. So meditation is a beautiful part of, a beautiful tool that can help you to connect with your guidance and help you get to figuring out why you're here and what you should be doing while you're here. And if nothing else, it helps you to, it's all about self-care. It helps you to mind what's happening inside your internet. Take care of what's happening inside of you through the heart. Balance, peace, serenity, surrender, however you want to see it as, but it's so much more peaceful within yourself that you end up creating that in your outer world. But you have to work on yourself first and go within yourself, and meditation helps you to do that, to see what you need to work on. I've been cleaning up my bad habits since my awakening, cleaning up the things that I no longer, the things that I was doing that was just not appropriate. A lot of this anger that I had I needed to heal. I had to face these things that were affecting me in a way that I wasn't happy with, and that was not making me happy. I needed to work on those things, and the way that I needed to do that was to go within myself and really look at my behaviors, my habits, and make them right, make things right within myself, and then change them as I kept on practicing, shifting how I live and how I act and how I was being. And it's taken me to this point where I'm much more at peace within myself and happy with my life. No matter what is happening in and around me, I know that there is a divine reason and purpose for everything, even for me being on this YouTube vlog talking to you right now. I know everything is working out beautifully as it's supposed to. Even if it's just one person that listens to this and gets something from it, then I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm no longer, how do I say, I don't have this competitive drive to be better, to do better, I'm not competing with anybody. The only person I'm competing with is myself, being the best version of myself. That's where I'm at right now in my life. I just want to be the best version of Amoy. And this is, the best version of Amoy is new me that I'm coming into more and more as I continue to practice these tools and mind my way of being and taking care of what's happening in my internet, and then sharing that in my outernet with people. I'm falling in love with myself, if you will. I'm falling in love with Amoy and who Amoy is becoming. And I couldn't say that before because I didn't even know what that was, really. But now I know. And so now I'm a better version of expressing myself in a more loving, peaceful, compassionate, understanding way with the people that I'm in contact with and that I have around me. And it affects my music in a different way as well, and my work in a different way as well, a more positive way, because I'm so much more at peace within my heart and myself. Another tool outside of meditation is, and going for walks in nature, like I said, is also contemplation, making time to sit down and contemplate life, even just washing dishes, doing these little random things, insights will come to you. And another one is also doing what you're passionate about, because it takes you away from, it takes you out of this reality into another beautiful reality, that things are just coming to you, ideas are coming to you, understandings and understandings are coming to you, and new ideas, solutions, answers are coming to you. Contemplation, and you can do that in any form. Reading a book, they have so many beautiful books and authors out there now that I resonate with, that has changed my way of thinking as well. And I take on board the examples that they've been giving me. One of my teachers that I've embraced and that I resonate with so much has been Cryon, who channels through Lee Carroll. I love Cryon, and in 2012 I was introduced to Cryon, and I listening to Cryon taught me about, made me understand what ascension symptoms were. And before, I would react to things happening to my body and think, oh my God, am I dying? Is what was happening to me? And I'd react so negatively. Now I embrace whatever's happening to me. I know that my body is changing, it's shifting, it's going through an upgrade, if you will. It's recalibrating. I know these terms now, and I know I'm not in fear of what's happening to me, because I know now that what is happening is supposed to be happening to get me to where I needed to go to be. And I'm shedding things, like my body was going through the shifts, really truly physical shifts. I was getting hives, breaking out in hives all over my body. I'm thinking of what's going on with me. My throat recalibrated, like I lost my voice for a whole year, and singing is my life. So I thought, oh my gosh, am I not gonna be able to sing ever again? But what was happening, I learned, was that my throat chakra was recalibrating. My throat was getting recalibrated, so that I can now sing from a place and speak from a place of knowing and stand more into my power, and my true voice was coming out. And I needed to recalibrate. It needed to recalibrate so that my light portal, my mouth, my light portal could be cleansed and clean, and what is coming out is what is truth, what is love, what is calm, what is respect, what is joy, what is light. All of that good stuff was just coming out. It needed to clear out so that all that good stuff could come through with ease and no stress and strain and blocks and all of that. All the blockages that were there over time needed to be cleared out. And so Spirit shut my voice down for a whole year. All I could do was write. And that's how The Light, that album, came about, was from that experience. I wrote The Light while my voice was shut down for a whole year, and I thought I wasn't going to be able to sing. And even when it came back slowly, but then eventually it came back better than I used to sing before. So, and I speak more softly now. I am not a shouter anymore. Like so funny that even when I was going through that, because I used to be a shouter. I would shout everything. As a Jamaican too, a lot of us, we grew up shouting everything. We're so passionate and aggressive with it, and I was that girl. But every time that I would try to shout, nothing would come out. Literally, my voice would I felt like it just closed up, and I had to literally come back down and speak soft, literally. And I did ask for this. I asked for Spirit to help me with that, and that is how it manifested. And so I whenever I try to shout like I used to, it doesn't happen. Even not even trying. Sometimes I'm reactive, and I recognize, oh, my voice is telling me to. It just literally closes, and it won't allow that anger and the way that it used to come out and express itself before, in an irresponsible way. It doesn't happen like that anymore. So I am grateful for that. But I understood from listening to Cryon that these were all ascension symptoms, basically shifting me into a higher frequency. And for me to get to a higher frequency, I had to shed and clear these lower vibrations, these lower energies from my body, and from my mental, and from my emotional, and from my spiritual body, so that I can get into a place of readiness for this new space that I was being ushered into. and I embrace it fully. I embrace it fully. I went through a lot of ascension symptoms and still go through different things. And I know that having a cold right now, I don't go into fear. Oh, am I catching the COVID or da 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 da? I know that my DNA is being upgraded. My cells are being upgraded. Everything is being upgraded. My body is being upgraded, shifting into, recalibrating into higher frequencies. And it does that, how it does it. And having a cold is one of them. But I say that to say that I'm no longer in fear of whatever is happening in and around me anymore. I don't operate from fear like I used to anymore. I see things differently, and I act and I react differently. I trust, I have faith that everything is working out for my best and for our best interest and for my highest good, and for you, all of you, your highest good as well. So I don't want to take up too much of your time. I'm going to leave. We're at 40 minutes already, so I just want to say, continue on your path as we are going through these changes. Don't fear it. Embrace it. Embrace it with trust and faith, knowing that who created you, your divine creator, source, love, light, higher self, whatever you call it, spirit, as your back. And you will be guided through this if you allow it, and if you give permission to for it, and you surrender to that flow. You will get to where you need to go with ease, grace, and flow, and everything that you need and require and desire will come into your reality at the right and perfect time. So don't stress. Don't stress. Observe what's happening around us, because things need to be cleansed and need to be cleaned up, recalibrated. And so all of the inappropriate things that's been happening on our planet need to come up to be seen. As much it's ugly, and it is ugly, some of the things that we are discovering and seeing. If you're open and your eyes are open, you have the ears to hear and you have the eyes to see, you will be shown, and you will be shocked, and it's scary, but it needs to be seen so that it can be released and healed, so that we can move into our new and beautiful, the new earth, the new world that is awaiting us, the new us, the new me, the new you, the new we that we are getting ready for. So allow it to happen in your own unique and beautiful way. And I hope this has helped you in some way, shape, and form. I thank you so much for giving me your time and energy, and it's an exchange of energy, as I know now. I'm giving you something, you're giving me something by giving me an ear to just listen. And I just want to say thank you so much. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do so now. Subscribe Amoy Music, and check out the music as well. The new album is out, Water, and hopefully if you get a chance to check it out, the music resonates with you in some way, shape, and form. And I can ask for more. So thank you so much again for your time. Enjoy your day, your night, your evening, whatever is happening while you're listening to this. And I'm sending you so much love, so much peace, so much joy, and so much of these higher frequencies appropriately. And thank you again. So much gratitude to you. Thank you so much for your time. Enough love.